Right then, how are you doing? Welcome to this week's video. Today is Monday. I've done nothing over the weekend. I've had a couple of days off. I'm going to come to the unit on a very busy Monday. I've had plug sockets installed in the back here for all the kettles and all that sort of stuff. I've had 2 extra sockets put here, and also this little gem has been finished. But I'm going to leave that until after. I'm going to film some nice B-roll shots of it, the lights on and off and all the fancy stuff. And then once I've got this, I'm just finishing the interior now. We've had this BMW X3 dropped off, which is right here. This is in for a 2-day package, so this will get picked up tomorrow night. I'm going to work a bit late today because I've spent the majority of the time on this here, so we'll get this looking nice and clean. So once I've done the interior on the Aston, I'm going to move on to this and get it washed. So yes, good start to Monday. So where we're up to on this wonderful Monday now evening, it's almost 7 o'clock, it's about 20, what time is it? 25 to 7. So the Aston's done, just need to give the inside a wipe. That can be done tomorrow morning. X3 has been an absolute pig of a wash. The bonnet and the roof were absolutely covered in tree sap, and after quite a long session with the clay bar, I've got it to a point where I'm kind of happy to move on. And what I mean by that is, you can see it just from on the video there, all these little dots, that is all tree sap, but it's, you can't feel it, it's flat. I've also gone over it with tar and glue again, and it's not seemed to be shifting it. So what I think is, because there's no head on it basically and it's completely flat, when I go over it with a polisher it should just come off. Or my other option is just to heavy cut the bonnet and the roof and go over them again with a refining polish. So we'll see how we got on with that, but I'm going to dry this off now and then head home and have an entire day tomorrow polishing. One of our dogs is unwell at the moment, so I don't really want to be here, but I've got to earn some money. The Aston is complete. I just need to whack down the interior, but I think it's time we roll some B-roll and show you how this beast looks. So 3, 2, 1, go. So just a brief inspection of the paintwork. I've got a lot of swirl marks, albeit doesn't really look too bad. There's a bit of water on the surface. I've just dried it off. I'll wait for it to dry naturally overnight, but to be honest, I think with a single stage we should get about 90 to 95% of these out. The paint isn't looking shocking at all. The bonnet is probably going to be my main focus, because as you can see, it looks like people have tried to, you know, how do I explain it? Like rub some of these marks. It's left a bit of nastiness behind. So I think the best option, really, if I can flip the camera around, would be to heavy cut the bonnet. So I'm just going to do a test patch on the bonnet now before I leave, and if it's okay, we'll crack on with that tomorrow, but if it's not, then I know I need to cut it tomorrow. So I'll do a little test patch now and see what kind of results we get. Now I am taking a wild guess and presuming that this paint is going to be quite hard. So I've whacked a little dab of cutting compound with the Kosh Canny F6 and see how we get on. I'm just going to do a little section here and see what happens basically. I can straighten out the video. That's it. Well, I picked up a pad that I cleaned earlier without realising, that's why the polish looks so wet. So I thought I would tough it out, but I'm just going to wipe this off, get a clean pad and go again. So, same again. Let's give it another go. So, I'm pretty happy with that result. We've got no swirls, there's deeper marks, which I'll concentrate on a bit more tomorrow. Let me bring you in and show you. So, as I mentioned earlier with these sap, the tree sap, I thought the polisher would just kind of bring them up, but I'm going to be completely honest. I think when I get in tomorrow, I'm just going to have to spend however long it takes just clay barring the bonnet. And if failing that not working, there's not a lot we can do really. The other option is to heavy cut the bonnet, but if you think about the time spent between clay barring, then heavy cut and then refining, I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll have to see. See how we get on with the clay bar in the morning and go from there really. It might be better to do it dry with less, well obviously you need a lubricant to use a clay bar, but with the car being less wet, I don't know, it might work a bit better. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on with that. But after the swirl marks, let me turn you around now and show you how we got on with the swirls. So we're working with this currently and moving across to where we've polished. We're looking nice and neat. So the whole car should look like this, not like this. You can see the layer there in between both bits that have been polished. That is what's covering this finish. So it looks like we've got probably about a 16-hour day tomorrow to get this done. The customer has said he doesn't need the car till Thursday morning, so I have got a bit of extra time to play with, which is nice, but I'd rather not use the extra time, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I should have started earlier on this today, to be honest, but with the electricians being here, I've had obviously the plug sockets fit in the back and the 2 new lights. They were here for most of the day and they had live cables. All the trunking was all out and the wires were exposed, so I didn't really want to be using the jet wash, even if it was outside. Didn't want any, because the water kind of sticks in the air in here. I've started opening the door now when I wash the cars. I didn't really want water anywhere near that sort of stuff, so I left that and cracked on with the Aston all day. So that is what it is. There's nothing much you can do about that, but yeah, just gonna I'm happy with the result on that, so I know tomorrow should be quite an easy day in terms of the rest of the car. It's just getting rid of all that tree sap. So I'll see you all in the morning and we'll see how we get on with it. Peace. So just catching up now, the Aston Martin has finally gone. I'm going to roll the clip of it leaving the doors, somewhere around here while I carry on talking. Made a good start on the X3 today. So when I came in, I basically did what I said. I went over the bonnet again with a clay bar 2 times, and I got somewhere I was kind of happy with, and I have been over the bonnet with a polisher. The whole bonnet's been done now. If I flip it around, it's all corrected. There's a couple of spots here and there, which that's just dust, all that stuff is. I've got James Bond on the TV in the back, so if you can hear that, that's why. But the bonnet's looking a lot better than it was, so I'm really happy with that. I've just done the wing now, so this is all done here. What I'm essentially doing now is, this has obviously been prepped by BMW at some point, and they've left polish in every single little gap and crevice. So, like as you can see here, all this, all that. So to save me a bit of time, as I'm going around each individual panel, I've just got a spare cloth and some, where is it? What's there? Like an alcoholic surface prep. This is Lacrosin from Performance People. The best thing you can buy. Just going around after I've done a panel, making sure all the edges are clean and all done. So that's that side done. Moving on to the other side now. Then I'll do the front bumper and then we'll move on to the doors. So let's crack on. So Adam, I hear you ask, where are you up to on the BMW X3? As you can tell by the pitter-patters on the roof, it is chucking it down outside. The time is 20 to 9. So far, I've done the full front end, so we've got the bonnet, wings, front bumper. We've got the doors done, ring mirror, all this top bit here into the back quarter panel. So I've done here as well, all up to there. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. The customer doesn't need the car till Thursday morning. I think I've said this already, but I'm going to get it finished tomorrow. So tomorrow, realistically, I've only got this back quarter panel, well, the 2 doors and the quarter panel to do, and a boot. The roof, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But there's a few touch-ups that have been done on this car. I've done myself, a few scratches. All I've basically done is, so there was a rash going all the way up here. All I've done is put some touch-up paint on it and kind of polish the paint out. A lot of it's come out already. There's still a little bit here which needs to come off. Same on here, you can see it. It's all been touched in, ready. And all I'm going to do is just cut over that with a polish. And because the paint's on so thin, it will just come off gradually and blend in with the paintwork. So that's the easiest way to touch in that sort of stuff without going crazy, because obviously, yes, it's booked in for a 2-day detail, and the focus of that is paintwork, interior and ceramic. I can't do everything in 2 days, if you know what I mean. So I can get the paint as close as perfect in 2 days, as well as the interior. But adding on scratches and all the little bits and stuff, normally that's an extra day or 2. So I always do a lot more than what people book, but you've got to limit yourself sometimes, which is I have to do all the time because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So I'm going to leave you looking at this lovely X3, nice and shiny. I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace. So as you can see by the time lapse, I'm busy. I've just done the back end, all that sort of stuff. I've got my jazz music on in the background, so I'll try and speak as loud as I can. Should have turned it down really, but oh well. Just on this passenger side now, I've done the rear quarter, I've just got this passenger door to do. And with the tree sap, what I've done is, basically, so all this is just toilet paper, soaked in tar and glue. And I've let that sit on top of the tree sap for about an hour now. So I'm going to take all that off, give it a gentle rub with a cloth, see if it comes off. Hopefully it should do. If that doesn't, then it's etched into the paintwork and there's nothing I can do. But I'll get all that taken off now, and I'll just quickly go over it with a polisher again before I coat the panel. So let's see how we get on with this. So I've just done that on the bonnet, and a lot of them actually did come off, so that's worked a treat. I'm just looking at it now, just walking around the car. It definitely takes your eye off it a lot, so I'm really glad I did that. So I'll probably put some on the roof now before I start polishing that. And yeah, quite happy with that. It is looking really good. So yeah, let's crack on. So when I'm up to the BMW right now, let me flip it around. We are all finished polishing. I've just gone over the bonnet again with a dusting of F601, just to refine some of the marks out, and if there was anything left over from rubbing some of that tree sap off with the tar and glue, that would have just skimmed it off. So leave a nice finish for that. I've just finished doing the B pillars in the middle there, just polished the roof. It's looking good now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give this car a wipe down with lac of sin, surface prep. So every panel is clear of all oils and greases and all that sort of stuff, and it's a completely fresh layer for the ceramic coating to bond to the clear coat. So get that done now, ceramic coat it, and then we'll do the interior, which should take about an hour. So hopefully the customer should be able to pick it up at 6 o'clock, and I've got an early dark front, so let's get this done. So now the whole car's been corrected, polished, wiped down, all the nooks and crannies are all sorted. We're not going to just send it out the door like it is, so we're going to put something called a ceramic coating on the paintwork. Now, if you've never heard of a ceramic coating, it comes in a little bottle like this. It looks like it's filled with water. But I'll just show you now as I'm applying it and explain basically what it is. So, it's a bit too much, not really, but there you go. Ceramic coating, think of it as like a liquid glass. So that's what it is basically. It's a resin glass that goes on your paintwork like this. You just get it nice and even. I like to do this top bit when I do the top bit as well, so get the handle in, get in there in. Now what this does for your paintwork is it adds a layer of protection on top of your clear coat. So if you imagine now you've got your metal paint clear coat, and then after that you've got your ceramic. So depending on what ceramic you use, because there's different hardnesses, and you know, from 1 to 10, the one I use is a 10. You can't leave it for too long before it will flash. Now obviously I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't really need to look at lights and stuff, but if you don't get it off in time, it will cure as it is on the panel in all streaky lines and stuff, and you don't want that. So if you're going to use one, make sure you've practiced before, or you've had training, or you know what you're doing, because you can give yourself a bit of a headache. I mean, I had the situation yesterday. I was coating that Aston Martin, and I was doing one of the doors. I'd just done the front end, and what yeah, I was doing the door. I did half the door and it flashed instantly, which I've never seen happen before, but it did. And I was buffing it off, it wasn't shifting. So the only thing I could do was re-polish the door, wipe it down and coat it again. And those things just happen, but I've never had that happen before. But this layer of protection, if you think I'm wiping it like crazy, I'm just making sure there's no residue left over. I like to be thorough with this sort of thing, and yeah, something like that. So in terms of protection, a ceramic coating will protect your paintwork against UV, dirt, road grime, everything in general really. And yeah, things like acid rain, all the things that usually etch paintwork, it will defend against that. And as well, because water won't want to stick to it, because if you've ever noticed water beading off the car, this is what this does. So the car will essentially clean itself, and you know, especially in the winter months when it's pouring down rain, you know, if you're driving through loads of dirt and rubbish on the roads and salt and all that sort of stuff, the water will come off the car and take the dirt with it. So that's what I mean by keep the car cleaner for longer, because the car cleans itself. So not only do you have a protected car, you've got a car that cleans itself, and it maintains the finish, like that polished finish now that I've got now. You know, you could damage it going through a car wash, which I advise all my customers not to do. But it is more resistant to things like scratches and stuff like that from bushes and brushes and stuff. So I always advise for it to be looked after by a professional after you spent all this money doing it, but not everyone chooses to do that. Majority of people do. But I always send every customer that books in for a package like this or has any sort of ceramic work done, you'll get an aftercare message with how to look after it, what are the next steps, what should you do if you want to look after it yourself. Because I sell products as well, so if you want to maintain the car yourself, you can do using the products that I use, knowing that you are maintaining the coating on your car. That is often a cheaper alternative. And the cheaper alternative after that is going through car washes, but you're going to end up back here having the exact same thing done. So, yeah, bit of food for thought really. I don't really, obviously, because next year I'll be offering PPF, paint protection film, and there's a big debate about, you know, what would you rather have. Now I would say paint protection film is more aimed at very high-end cars, especially for stone chips and stuff like that. You know, truck cars and stuff like that. You know, I still think ceramic has its place in every area of the market. But I think people with the higher end cars tend to go for PPF instead of the ceramic. I mean, you can ceramic PPF, so they normally just get PPF and that, I suppose, but yeah, it's a bit of a mix. But as you can see, this is quite a time-consuming process. Because I know I've been buffing it off a lot while I've been talking, but you know, you've got to do this to the whole car. Paintwork, the glass, alloys. All the trims, you know, all the little bits as well. Everything gets ceramic coated, absolutely everything. So yeah, I'll leave you with that thought. So I'm going to leave it here for this week's video, because tomorrow I've got an ID buzz being dropped off, but it's late in the evening, so this week probably a bit of a short video, but let's roll some B-roll of the X3, see how we're looking now compared to when it came in, and hopefully you've enjoyed this one. If you have, leave a like rating, subscribe, and ding dong that notification bell. And until next week,